What's going on, everybody? This is Mc Loughlin from Squad Sports. We're really excited to be supporting the Free Agent Friday series. A lot of great talent out there. Without further ado, this is the next free agent you should be signing with your sports team.
All right, we're back for another Free Agent Friday, and today I've got JP Mc Loughlin with me. How's it going, JP?
Going good yourself?
Doing real good, man. Thanks for joining me. Let's jump right in. Let's start with where you went to school and any degrees that you received.
For sure. So I went to school at Athlone Institute of Technology in Athlone, County Westmeath, Ireland, and I did my degree in business in sport and tourism management, graduating in 2007.
What made you want to get into the sports side of things?
I was always very sporty. Just growing up, I always just loved sports. Always wanted to work in sports, but had no idea what it meant. It doesn't mean playing for Manchester United or anything like that. But I got into Gaelic football coaching in Ireland, and that was my sport that I got into on the coaching side, and I enjoyed that. But then when I moved to Canada in 2011, I got into tourism, which is nice. It's a different change of pace. And I realized what I like doing is just helping people with experience. And thankfully, that allowed me to move into a sports environment in 2014 when I started working at BC Place Stadium here in Vancouver on a part-time basis. And then I became guest experience manager there in 2016. And from there, I just knew I was in the right career path. I just loved everything about being the fan experience and how events are set up, from concerts to sporting events. Just loved everything about that, meeting fans, helping fans with problems, cheering with fans, building relationships. Just loved everything about it. And then meeting colleagues across North America and the NFL or the NBA, just knowing that, yeah, this is the field that I should be in, and just looking to get back into that field, moving onwards in 2020.
How about location-wise? Are you open to relocation?
Very much so. So moved, obviously relocated to Canada from
Right.
Ireland back in the day. And yeah, I'm always looking at venues, be across Canada, United States, really a lot globally. Like I would really happily move to England too, in a Premier League venue if that was there. But ideally North America. There's something about the North American sports market that I just really enjoy. So anywhere across the states would be pretty cool to be in.
And what kind of are you looking for? A similar type role in, guest experiences or?
Pretty much, yeah. Just getting like sport is a big part of my life, and I just love how it's part of other people's lives and sharing my enthusiasm for that. So I just really found, I think, my niche in guest experience, fan experience when I was doing that role. So that's when I do search on teamwork online or any of those. The first thing I put in is guest experience. Second thing I put in is fan experience as search. Management or director level of that would be fantastic. And I guess the dream job, really.
Walk me through kind of like your role at your last position at the BP place.
Sure. I was guest experience manager and responsible for the hosting department, which is effectively the ushering department, ticketing and in the seats and the stands and that. So it'd be very, very, very broad role. A lot of, especially when we have a concert more so, for example, an unusual event and a lot of new people to the venue. You would get a lot of calls that would, how do I get there? What can I expect? What does this ticket mean? Et cetera, et cetera. A lot of people with some accessibility challenges, and just helping all those people out, putting plans in place for their time at the stadium to be a success. Trying to bring a lot of new initiatives to the stadium as well, and then train those initiatives, which is always hard with event staff when you see people on such a sporadic basis compared to a quote unquote normal job where you see them every day.
Right.
So a lot of relationship building, a lot of training, a lot of just set up for events, working with security department, which I really enjoyed, actually learning about security and working with clients too. Just every day was something different, and every month was different to the next, and just learning a lot as I went. And that was really a lot of my role.
How big was the event staff there that you work with?
The department that I had would number between 200 and 250 throughout the year. then for a concert under my department, we'd have a bigger crowd than we would for a regular sporting event. It could number up to 330, I think it was, at the highest concert that we had. So, and then there was 6 more of supervisors who I worked more closely with, and that was my team. So generally around 250, I would always probably give the number at.
Nice. What would you say is your biggest asset that you would bring to a new position?
I think I bring a lot of enthusiasm to any position, and enthusiasm to learn as well. During my time, I think I've picked up some knowledge that would be useful, hopefully, from experience and from what I've learned from events that I've held and from colleagues. But I've an enthusiasm and passion for what I do, and when I'm in, I'm really in. And I think my biggest strength and something I look for in any teammate is teamwork. I think that without teamwork, you're just you're losing really. And I think my teamwork both as a manager and as a member of that team is my biggest strength really.
What's the area that you need to work on the most?
I think it's assertiveness. Sometimes too nice, and just having some of those difficult conversations that need to be had. They'll be had, but they'll probably be procrastinated on a little bit when it's just a case sometimes of getting right in there, and sometimes I think by talking a lot I'm helping when I'm not. Sometimes you don't.
You got to rip the Band-Aid right off. Rip it off.
I've been watching Hard Knocks and I've seen how Sean McVay does it, and he makes it seem like such a, he's giving good news, like, we're going to let you go, buddy. I'm like, that's bad news, but he says it in such a good way. So it's being able just to do that, have that difficult conversation, but have it more to the point, but also be compassionate still with it, but talking a lot isn't compassion.
Yeah. That's one of those things that it takes some time to kind of get there. I look back and I had a period there too where it's like, man, but once you get to the point and it's over, then you can move on. So,
for sure.
How would you define success?
It's a good question. I think for success is I'm very much into just writing goals down. I used to have a whiteboard and of goals I would have, and obviously the more of those ticked off, that's kind of success there. But I think just being able to look back on a period of time and knowing that you attempted or tried to perform at your best is success to me. Sometimes you try and you fail, but sometimes the success is in the trying and the learning of that. So. I think success is always just as long as you're learning, you're being successful, and not just chalking it down to a loss and giving up. It's always learning.
So I see you got a lot of different, you got NFL ball back there, looks like a hockey puck, baseball, everything. So what's your favorite sport? And then what teams do you follow?
Yeah, I've been watching a lot of ESPN and TSN and they're on Zoom calls. So I was like looking at the bookcase this morning. I thought, the bookcase is up. That's what they all do. I'm going to do that. So my favorite sport is Gaelic football, an Irish game, which wouldn't be known too much internationally. That'd be my number one sport. Growing up in Ireland, the Premier League was always big, and I'm a big Manchester United fan. I've supported Manchester United since I was 6. And then in North America, it's just the NFL, and it's so great that it's coming back this week. For a bit more memorabilia, I've got my Seahawks.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, I'm a big Seahawks fan. Just loved everything. I wasn't a Seahawks fan when I moved here, and I went to a game in 2012 when they played the Jets, and just the noise of CenturyLink. I just was hooked on the Seahawks after that. It's just amazing. And then in college football, I'm an Alabama fan due to a friend I met before liked Alabama. I didn't get why college football was so big, so I just said, yeah, I'll follow Alabama. Turned out they were good, so that was nice. And,
that doesn't hurt. That doesn't hurt at all. Give me a fun personal fact about you.
So this year is 2020, where travel is not happening, but I actually ticked off kind of a bucket list item. I ticked off 2 more continents this year in my travels. So now the only continent left to do is Antarctica, which I have no real aspirations to do at the moment. But yeah, I got to go to Indonesia and Australia this year in
Nice.
January and February. when the world was a very different place. And I actually landed in Hong Kong, and a friend of mine said, I noticed a few people wearing masks, and a friend of mine said people are afraid of the virus, and I was like, what virus? And now, how naive, looking back. But yeah, I was curious to be able to say that, to be able to do that in 2020, thankfully. So yeah, six continents have been visited, which is great. I'm very, very happy for my travels that way.
So out of all your travels, you have a favorite spot you like to go to?
I've spent a lot of time traveling in the west of the United States in recent years. I do love going to random American places. I was in South Dakota last year, in Wyoming. I like that part of the world, in Montana, Idaho. My favorite trip I've probably ever done, I went to Egypt once. Really, really enjoyed Egypt. I think every place. I don't really have a favorite per se. Just there's some of the highlights. But
Like to travel.
I do like to travel, yeah. And I was just watching a movie last night, and just the idea of being able to drive down to Seattle seems international right now. We took it for granted, but Seattle's in the movie, and we'd love to go to CenturyLink. And the ability to be able to do that is gone now. So it's looking forward to that coming back.
Yeah. No, well, I want to thank you for joining me, JP. Let's keep in touch, and hopefully you'll be back at it here pretty soon.
Hopefully. Thank you for having me.